would only come from the dawn. Where's the close my eyes when I take a ride. For the bag in the yard side, don't worry about that, you see it's all natural. Police chasing this bandolero, running down the road with my thick arrow. One stop was my music shop, where I heard this guitar screaming. Bring up new style, holding trophy cups. Or reselect while my speakers are up. The sound sweeter with an echo chamber. Don't you know that they are the danger? Bottles of crystal and it's a green. The best would only come from the dawn. Where's the close my eyes and take a ride? Take a ride. Everybody take a ride. Take a ride, everybody take a ride. Take a ride, everybody take a ride. Take a ride, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rocket Radio Show. Starring our host, Rocket. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever the day finds you. This is your humble host, Rocket, from the Rocket Radio Show. On today's topic, is it just me, or do blacks destroy themselves? You know, I've been reading into what's going on over in South Africa, and basically what's going on is they're saying that colonialism wasn't that bad, and they're starting to beg for white farmers to come back, believe it or not. Well, they're also being savagely murdered. And by the way, they're not just murdered, they're like Charles Manson. I mean, it's horrible. Horrible! So now they've escaped from their evil white slave masters, and what have they done with their country? Can someone in the studio or alternative universe give me an example of a culture that is predominantly black, that is working? I mean, wasn't Haiti considered the jewel of the Caribbean? What's going on there? Why is it that Haiti is stuck in the 7th century while the Dominican Republic on the other side of the island is doing just fine? Can someone give me a city other than Detroit that is run and governed by blacks? I'm just wondering. I don't have my mind made up. I'm wondering what you think. Is it just me, or is it everywhere that blacks congregate and get any sort of power, they run it into the ground? Is Somalia and Mogadishu some kind of stereotype? I did a show recently with Mr. E, and he had recommended that I listen to the show, and then I did listen to the show, and I gave him a review, and it was pretty harsh. You know, and I don't want Mr. E to think that I'm a dick, because I'm not a dick. But it's my job to review and comment and make commentary, and that's why I told him what I thought. And I think, unfortunately, that the whole hip-hop thug culture is propagated by evil white dudes, for the most part. Primarily Jewish dudes who actually don't consider themselves white. That's all. And when you add up all the fatherless kids and all the millions of abortions and dead kids in the trash can, the lack of availability for jobs for blacks in the United States, the majority of blacks in prison, we have more people in prison, man. It's a for-profit industry, and it's sheltered on the backs of blacks. And you know, one thing I find with a lot of black men in particular, They don't see any allies among the white race, and they don't, imitate anything that white people do as a culture too well on their own. It's almost like everything about white people is excluded. And now, racist just means anti-white. We can scream to our lungs out about feminism, but when you get into the racist category, it's really just anti-white. Anti-white is cool. Nobody wants any convention anymore. Nobody wants to be able to sit at a table and eat a dinner like a civilized person. People want to teach their 3-year-old how to twerk, and it's funny. It's ghetto funny. It's so funny, ghetto funny. It's so funny, ghetto funny. But once again, is it just me? I mean, who's making these black women have abortions? Who's making these black men commit crimes and wind up in prison? I mean, who's doing that? Every time you complain about Obama, it's that you're a racist. I don't see Obama as a black guy. I see him as a president. I don't know, a white guy. He just doesn't act black unless he's around a bunch of black people. And the people that advocate for the American black, notice I'm not saying African American. Once again, who made that up? And why do blacks claim themselves as being African American? And when you consider the plight of the average African in Africa, aren't the descendants of slaves here in the United States just darn grateful they were brought over here in chains? So my question to the audience is, do black people destroy themselves? Thanks for listening to the Rocket Radio Show. More Rocket Radio Show content is available on Spreaker.com. That's right, Spreaker.com.
You are now listening to a Rocket Radio Show broadcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rocket Radio Show. Starring your host, Rocket.
Raining. A lot of times when you hear rain in the background, that's actually a soundtrack, but it's really raining today. It's coming down pretty good. That's good. We were getting pretty dry. People used to tell me that it rained all the time in Washington State, but we had 76 days of no rain. Beautiful summer. Just went on and on and on. Absolutely perfect weather. One of my friends busted me doing something kind of weird. I didn't realize it was weird. I guess if I didn't think about it, it's weird. But I don't know if you guys notice, but a lot of times I have sounds that are superimposed on my shows where I'll have audio. There's 2 audio tracks going at once, and a lot of people can't tolerate that because they got, the intelligence of a goldfish. But I can listen to, and I listen to 2 shows at once. A lot of times I will have a show going in the background that's mostly, words and stuff, and then another show that's more visual with words that are completely different topics, and I can actually follow both at the same time. Sometimes, videos bore me. So I'll have, like, I don't know how I do it, but I can actually watch more than 2 shows at once and take in the dialogue. And I know that probably reflects in the videos I've been doing. Today I wanted to talk about the sheep. You know, those sheep. Now, I have a farm, but I don't have any sheep. So when I say sheep, you guys know who I'm talking about. Those are the looky-loos. This is like the first video of mine they've ever seen. But anyway, I have some pigs on my farm people know about. If you go back to some of my previous videos, I talk about my pigs. I'm pretty close to them, but they're getting big. I mean, real big. They're like 300 pounds, and they're just starving all the time. But tomorrow is Monday, and there's a guy coming over, and we're gonna butcher the pigs. And so I had a talk with him last night and tried to explain to him that I really appreciate their sacrifice for our family, and I appreciate, you know, the time I have had to spend with them, and they didn't have a problem with it, not a peep. And I think that those pigs, when I'm trying to explain to them how I'm going to be shooting them in the head tomorrow, I think they're a lot like sheeple. You know what? Stop saying you're going to wake people up. Just stop talking about that. Oh, I'm going to wake people up. People are asleep. I guess I'm getting kind of irritated at sheeple. I feel like there's kind of 3 kinds of people in the world. You got your sheep, you got your elite, and you got your aware sheep, or partially aware sheep. And there is like, it's like being in the Masons, there's like 33 degrees of awakeness. And the top 33, I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm probably like level 19, I think. But part of that is get to where you come full circle. If you're not going balls out on saving food and stuff, don't even bother. You know, if you're going to get a gun and you don't have a shitload of bullets, don't even bother. If you're going to get a gun with a shitload of bullets but you never fired it before, don't even bother. You know? Don't think you need a bug-out bag. You don't need a bug-out bag. You need good tennis shoes. Because if you're stupid enough to jump in your car once you realize that shit has hit the fan, you're going to be caught in a big traffic jam. That's it. Or you're going to run out of gas, or you're going to get stopped on the road by either gangs stealing shit and killing people, or by rogue policemen that have finally decided they're not getting a paycheck, so they'll just act like policemen to take your shit. Now, another thing you should know is during the crash, people are going to be polarized, and they're going to hate people. Now, they're going to hate people with stuff, the rich people, the bad guys, right? But that includes everybody. So eventually, if you have, you know, a Zippo lighter, that means you have something, therefore they hate you. So not only just robbing you, they're going to kill you. They'll just kill you to get rid of you. Now, months and months into it, they might kill you to eat you. Like a sci-fi movie, they'll probably just cut your leg off and put a tourniquet on you and chow that leg, and then the next day, start working on the other leg just to string you along because it's something to eat. You think I'm shitting you? You know, millions of cows and pigs are going to die immediately because they're not going to be getting fed. You want to shut the United States down? It's so simple. I don't hear a lot of talk about this, but the truckers. I blame the truckers. You guys are organized. What the F are you guys doing? Why don't the truckers wise up? The truckers could squeeze this government by the balls. They got the whole world in their hands. The truckers. Those big ships, all those captains of all those big oil liners. You guys got the world by the balls too. What's going on with that? It's the sheep. It's just the sheep. Yesterday I was talking to a sheep, and this guy's sheep level is like buffoon. So asleep. And you know what's funny is that people that are really dead asleep, you know, that they're walking REM sleep, they get insulted when you talk about it. They get dragged down. I've been partying with a group of people. Everybody's having a good time, and somehow the topic comes up. Next day I know I'm trying to tell everybody. I feel close to everybody. We're all in.